Alright, so here's a quick layout. What I told you in the last clip was I traced out right here. It's the outside of the trunk. You can see it on both sides. It's not perfect. It was just a guesstimate. That gave me an idea of how far out that I could possibly go. Drew a center line down the middle. Drew a hole. Now, you're probably wondering how I got perfect circles that big. I actually cheated and used the Jasper Circle Jig for a router. But I'm going to show you how to use it for the circles. I used the guide piece, left it in there, just placed it out just a little bit. And what I did was I made all my measurements and I used the hole, did the same thing as if it was a router, pushed it down in, just stuck my pencil in, made sure I held it in the same place. And went in a circle. This way I could double check all my measurements before I made any cuts. That way I don't have to rebuild the entire box. Now for some of you, this is the inner measurement for my subwoofer. This is the outer. This is just a visual. This is also an outer for the port, but I'm going to have to recess that one a little bit. So this one is important. Just gives me a guideline, make sure nothing's going wrong. Also, this is also an outside with the inner. Now, when you get your subwoofers, for those of you who don't know, they show you right here how it should be. Let me bring this into focus for you. So the inside of mine is 10.87 inches, so that's what I want the cutout diameter. And my regular diameter on the outside is going to be 12.19. Now I measured it out at 12 1/4, so it gives me a little bit of space. Now comes the job of cutting the circles, which is everyone's least favorite job. The best thing to do is to go out and invest in a Jasper Circle Jig, which is right here. It says you need to use a plunger router, but this is a non-plunging router, and I can get it to work perfectly fine. I did a video on how to use the Jasper Jig. You can click on one of the links right around here to go see that video, and then come back and finish watching the rest of this one. If it's the first circle that you're going to be doing for that subwoofer, make sure you only cut a little bit down first. That way, before you lose your circle and you have to hand sand everything, you can measure it and make sure that it is correct. That's exactly why you check. My measurements are off because of the bit that I'm using and I need to make a correction. But now I still can. Alright, now since I double checked my math and I figured out everything was wrong, all I had to do was move the jig 1/16 of an inch. But that made a big difference in cutting my hole. As you can tell, you could barely tell that there's any bit of a difference, but there is. So now I'm just going to finish cutting it. You want to make sure too that you always start at the top, because when you finish your circle it's automatically going to want to drop down to the bottom, and if you have your bit down here at the bottom, it's going to cut into your circle, which is exactly what you do not want. So Alright, so there you have it. The hole is cut. This is the center ring. Now it's time to test the subwoofer. Clean that out. Do a quick touch up sand, make sure there's nothing in there that's going to affect the subwoofer. Here we go. Perfect. Look at how little movement there actually is in that. Virtually nothing. There's a perfect circle for the sub. Within our line, it'll fit perfect. Alright, so I got both circles cut out for the subwoofers. And I've got the indentation for the port. Now all I need to do is actually cut out the hole for the port. Just check it to make sure it's correct. And it is, dead on. Thanks for watching part 3 of the Subwoofer Full Install video. Click on part 4 to continue watching the build progress. If you like this video, click the like button and leave a comment down below to let me know how I'm doing. Also, subscribe to my channel to see updates and more upcoming projects that I have going on. Thanks for watching.